Hello, Tarottube, Tarot Community, Facebook, wherever you're seeing this, my website, twixtarot.com. Wherever you found me, thank you so much for popping in and following along, and thank you for being curious. I haven't been posting as regularly as I would like to, but here I am trying to get back in the swing of things. I thought I would, do a little bit of a deck haul of what I've gotten over the past 4 weeks since I have last made a video. And I actually have quite a few decks to have a look at with you. I probably will try and keep this video a bit short so that I don't take up too much time, but I've never done a full deck haul video because I don't actually get many decks in all the time. So this past month was a little bit of an anomaly for me. It was my birthday at the end of February, and I managed to find some really cool decks locally, which also is an anomaly of sorts. Just lighting a candle. And yeah, the stars aligned on very many planes for this to happen, and it's really exciting. So I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate that. Firstly, I got a really lovely package from a friend in the US, one of my besties over there, who is an amazing person and quite a good tarot reader actually, but just a lovely human all around. And they sent me quite a few decks for my birthday, and I'm feeling very spoiled. And there was also a deck in that package that I purchased from another friend who was downsizing their collection, and so that friend sent that deck to my good friend, and neither of them have shared with me that I could share their names here because I haven't asked, and I should, but I don't want to call them out willy-nilly. But thank you both for making my birthday a very special event. No, my candle went out. I'll have to light it again. So yeah, I'm feeling very spoiled and very lucky to have such beautiful humans in my life, even though we are so far away from each other. I love them both dearly. Hold on, I'm just going to see if I can get this to stay lit again. Come on now. Alright, we shall see if that actually wants to stay lit here. It might not, and that is okay. Right, so I should probably talk about those decks first. So first up we have the Botan Tarot. This is a gorgeous, beautiful deck. This is the second edition, made by a Miyako M. And I should probably move that out of the way so I don't burn these decks. It was still plastic wrapped when I received it. It has a gorgeous magnetic box. I will do flip-throughs on all of these decks, but I'll just do quick little previews here. Each of the elemental suits is shown on the inside of the box, and it has these gorgeous indigo tones. It comes with a beautiful little guidebook that has full color pictures of all the cards and a few keywords for the upright and the reversed meanings. There is also a zine you can buy by this artist that sort of goes through I think the artistic references they've used and some of the stories behind the cards, so I do plan on buying that this week just so I can get to know this deck even better than what the little white book allows. But have a look at this gorgeous deck. So it is edged in this pretty matte indigo color. And it has a beautiful linen finish. It has really springy cardstock. It smells really good. I don't know if you're a deck sniffer, but I definitely am. Don't judge. I like the full sensory experience. Smells like fresh magazine ink, and I love that. And here's the beautiful back of the cards. It does look like it is fully reversible. Yeah. But I'll just quickly show you a sampling of some cards. The Emperor, the Tower, the Moon. Actually, I'll back up. The Star. My friend actually also included this lovely bookmark as well. Very exciting. I don't know what I'm going to use that for yet. Probably something special. Page of Swords. If you could hear that, that's my daughter. She's making happy noises in the lounge while I'm recording this. Ace of Coins. The tones in this deck are just beautiful. There's a lot of purple. I love purple. I love this card so much. 10 of Coins. And funnily enough, my friend who I purchased the deck from also included this little rabbit. And look how beautifully it matches this card. And I didn't know that this was in the package when I first was looking through this deck. And I had stopped to comment on this card on how beautiful this 10 of Coins is. I really love this card. And then I unwrapped this gorgeous little bunny rabbit, and it looks just like the bunny rabbit in the middle. Like ear placement and everything. I just love it so much. So what a happy little, synchronicity to happen for my birthday package. Couldn't be happier. Everything here is done in watercolor. This artist is so talented. And, I will probably never be at this level of watercolor in my life, considering I've only used my watercolor paints once since I've purchased them, but one can hope and aspire to be as good as somebody like this. I suppose everybody starts somewhere. But just look how gorgeous these colors are. The palette on this deck is amazing. It reminds me, I was thinking very much of that gorgeous hue that the sky turns at dusk when, if you're looking away from the direction the sun is setting, you sort of see this blue hue get pushed either up or down as the sun goes down. And it just gets inkier and inkier as the sun goes down, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's really quite inky. But that's what this beautiful indigo color reminds me of, and a lot of those purples actually. But I love this so much. I'm going to cherish this deck. I can't wait to do, a detailed walkthrough of it sometime soon after I've managed to play around with it a little more. I'll pop it away and show you the next one. Right. The next one is one I didn't ever think I would get to own either. This is the Golden Girls Tarot. I have been after this for over a year probably. You can't really find any legitimate copies of this. You can find lots of knockoff copies. This one is by Smith Street Gift, and I love that the box looks like a cigarette pack. I used to be a smoker. I no longer smoke, but that is just hilarious to me. I've never seen a tarot deck like that before. And this one has all the characters from the Golden Girls. Rose, Dorothy, Shady Pines, Blanche, Sophia, and I just know one of my other besties in the US would probably love this deck. So I might try and find another copy of this to send to her one day if I can get her into tarot. I don't know if she would even read tarot cards. I need to catch up with her, but Golden Girls is one of her favorite shows. It was one of my mom's favorite shows. I have such fond memories of watching the show with my mom and my aunt growing up in the late 80s. And yeah, I'm probably due for a rewatch actually. But I have to say some of the episodes have not aged very well. But they were still ahead of their times in many ways on that show. And gosh, you know, when you look at the ages of what the characters are supposed to be, I guess I am very much there right now. So upon a rewatch, you know, I might have some different views on some different things. But it says this Golden Girls centric deck was based on the Rider-Waite-Smith design, and it gives you a little glimpse on how to sort of pull your cards, do your spreads, and do your reading, which is really great for beginners. It does look pretty straightforward. So Eight of Wands, it looks very much like a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, which is great. But yeah, I think this will be good fun to use when I want something a little tongue-in-cheek, and maybe something, you know, with my mom's voice in it coming through, which would be great. I don't want it all the time, but I think my mom would also have loved this deck very much. Yeah, so looking forward to using that. Thank you so much for this deck. Next up, we've got a little treasure box here. This was a Kickstarter campaign. And it is the mini Divi deck sets. It says, "You are full of good fortune." It's got this really cool little magnetic box closure. I have not opened this yet. I wanted to do this on camera. And it says what you will find. No, it does not say that. It says, "What will you do once you find what you seek?" It's one of those design choices where, you know, if you read it left to right, it doesn't make sense. So obviously they want it read vertically. What will you do once you find what you seek? And it also says, "The end is the beginning," which I am a firm believer of. So it comes with this cool little card. Yes, or sorry, not card, coin. Yes, no coin. Stop and ponder, or continue and act, which is really cool. It's wooden, so it's really light. And there's a bunch of decks in here. I was forewarned that it can be hard to get them all out. So these look like little spread helper cards, which is really cool. Kind of like the Spread Crafters Oracle set. And then it has 7 decks. The first one is a 30 pack. We'll start with the left. We'll go Roy Jabib, hey? So this one is the mini Divi Witching. Has 30 cards. And it says, "This pack of divination cards delves into witchcraft themes. The cards range from eerie to humorous, and each has a fortune written at the bottom. Read these cards on their own or with the Teeny Tiny Tarot." And these are by Holly Audley. Now, the Teeny Tiny Tarot is the next one. 78 cards. Look how cute that is. If I hold up the Botan, where did I put it? The Botan. Me and my accent's coming through. Look how little it is. It is quite literally, you could look at this edge of the Botan Tarot and it would be, you know, it would be just a little bit bigger than that. So freaking cute. So this is the Teeny Tiny Tarot, a 78 card deck of all the things Holly finds wondrous in this world and the beyond. So very, very cool. What else do we have in here? This one is called Omens, Mini Divi Omens. But what does it mean? This pack of divination cards delves into all the signs. The cards range from eerie to humorous, and each has a fortune written at the bottom. Read these cards on their own or with the Teeny Tiny Tarot. So all of these little mini Divi decks are designed, I think, to complement the Teeny Tiny Tarot. The inside of the box says, "Everything you seek is inside." It's a gorgeous little set. There's the mini Divi Ghosts. This one, they all, I guess, have their own little themes. Each of them seem to be 30 cards too, so you get quite a few cards. So already that's 90 Oracle cards. Mini Divi Curiosities, so that's 120. Mini Divi Ends, and Mini Divi Lore, which is really cool. So this one says, "This one dives into lore we pass on." The Mini Divi Ends dives into life's many ends, and it says, "Everything must end. The stories we pass down. Curiosities abound." This one dives into the strange. Mini Divi Ghosts. These ghosts have a message for you. But what does it mean? I might quickly open these up so we can have a closer look. I'll start with the tarot though. So, excuse my scissors. I can't remember what I cut with these last, but obviously it was sticky. Okay, we're 16 minutes in. I might set myself a little timer so I don't go over. Oh no, I've already damaged the box. We'll do another 15 minutes. That's a shame. I didn't mean to be so rough with it. It is kind of cut there already, though, I will note. So I'm not going to feel too badly about it. That is sort of where the box has a little cut in it. So, oopsies. Teeny Tiny Tarot. I kind of just want to read that as tit, but I know that's wrong. Obviously, that's where my mind goes, hey? Oh, these are so cute. They're sort of a matte finish. Very cute card backs. It says, "Eyeballs are the pentacles, needles are the swords, sticks are the wands, skulls are the cups." And Holly Audley, Louiseau, Leo, I'm sorry, Holly, I am butchering your name. I will Google how to pronounce this. I apologize. Holly is an illustrator who creates from the study of her 1890 Victorian home. She's often inspired by cemeteries, ghost stories, strange places, and nature. Sounds like my cup of tea. Cute little thank you card. Okay, so she's actually organized these in such a way that I could do a little walkthrough. Maybe I will do a separate one. Okay, so these are the pentacles with the eyeballs. Very cool. You can kind of still see some of the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery coming through. We've got the swords here. So, you know, 3 swords upright on the wall and 1 sword you know, under the bed. Very cool. The Devil, Temperance. I love the color palette, so there's a lot of gray. It's very almost, I can't think of the word. I don't want to say non-contrasting, but it is all sort of very mellow. That's probably not the right word that I was looking for either. It's very mellow color palette. But these are colors that I quite like. So it's hard for me to find a color I don't like, if I'm honest, but you know, this would be my autumn wardrobe, I think. Now the cardstock, pretty snappy considering the size, very cool. And they too smell like a little new magazine, which I appreciate. I can't wait to use this deck too. This is so exciting. And all these little Oracle decks. It's like I just got, instead of, you know, I said I was going to go through 8 decks in this video. It's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that, you know, that doubles my number of decks that I was going to look at. But I am looking forward to diving into those. I might do a separate video on just these. So exciting. All right, the other deck that was in that box from my lovely friends. This is the one I purchased. So this is the Slow Tarot, and I am so excited to get it. Yeah, I kind of used to get this one and Slow Holler Tarot, I think, mixed up in my brain because my brain does that. I've come to accept that my brain very much gets decks confused with each other if they have similar names, which is a bit silly. So I didn't look into this one that deeply because I just thought it would be way too expensive. And a friend of mine was selling it, and so I decided to grab it when I realized I really like the artwork. So all of these are individual paintings by Lacey Bryant. This one, I'm not sure which edition. The little book says this is the 3rd printing, February 2021. I'm not sure if that applies to the actual deck as well or just the guidebook. But it was first published in 2019. So Lacey Bryant designed this and hand painted all of these as, I think, oil paintings, which I think some of them are still for sale. And the description says, a richly designed tarot deck featuring stunning reproductions of 78 original oil paintings by San Francisco Bay Area artist Lacey Bryant. The Slow Tarot is the result of a personal art project spanning over 6 years, as the artist dedicated herself to creating an original work of art for every card in the deck. So it's got a pretty, you know, basic little box, but that's fine, I think, because this one will not be traveling. I will be keeping this close to my heart here in my office. But yeah, I really love her art style. There is a darkness around this deck that I can appreciate, I think. It is not all sunshine and rainbows, and some of these images I think could be a little hard for people to look at. I purposefully have not dived too deeply into the artwork because I like to be surprised when I read. So yeah, I look forward to really getting to know these cards and doing a deck interview soon. I'm not sure if like every suit has, it doesn't look like every suit has a different border because it looks like there might be more than 5 colors here. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. But I look forward to finding out. It's not the thinnest cardstock, but certainly not the worst I've seen, and it's a linen finish. It is pretty thin, I will say, but again, I'm not taking this one anywhere, and it is a deck I will be a little more gentle with, obviously, because the cardstock is pretty thin. Let me see if I can just see anything about this quickly. So we've got a foreword written by Drew Clark. There's an introduction. I was just gonna see if the suits had particular colors or not, and if they notated them in the book, or noted them. Doesn't say, but I will organize. I'll organize the deck and come back. So yeah, I might end up using all of these as little walkthrough videos, as ways for me to really dive into each deck. But thank you to the friend who let me purchase this. You know who you are, and I look forward to diving into this and doing some journaling with it. The next two decks I'll do together, I have just recorded a walkthrough or a flip through on this one today, which should be going up on YouTube shortly. I've already done a walkthrough on Pagan Otherworlds. I managed to find these on Facebook Marketplace. I'm super stoked about this, and I look forward to using these, you know, both together and separately. Should be good fun. I will link to the cards for both of these walkthroughs when I upload this, if I can figure out how to do that. I've never done that before. So it will be a learning experience. But yes, Pagan Otherworlds Tarot and Supra Oracle by Uzi Studio. These are both still available. They do also have the guidebooks available separately, which I also managed to find copies of, so feeling very lucky about both of those. I do, look forward to using both of these very soon. Okay, so the next two decks are pretty mass market, but new to me. They're both used. And I would say the majority of people who are watching this probably already have this deck. So this is the Lightseers Tarot by Chris-Anne. I was never drawn to this artwork, personally, but I do read for the general public when I do readings at markets. And so I've always looked at this artwork as kind of modern representations of the cards that might be a little easier to be accessible for people who know nothing about tarot, right? Who might look at the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and struggle to understand what's happening for the cards. So I look at this one as, you know, a tool in my toolbox to provide readings as a way of making a living. But I do look forward to also reading through the guidebook, because I've heard such really good things about Chris-Anne's work and writing. And a lot of readers I respect, you know, have a love for this deck. So while the artwork might not be instantly my cup of tea, I think there's enough reasons for me to still dive into it and make my own decisions, and looking at it from a new angle. So I look forward to diving into this one. I have no idea. I know this was published, you know, a few times. This one is I'm just trying to look at the publisher. This one is by, I don't know. Because I know, this one's the Hay House version. Hay House, yeah. So I know that there are a few different versions of this with different cardstock and different, like, particular cards. I think Ten of Swords is the most highly sought after one in the original run. And I have no desire to ever probably own a first edition of this. But I'm excited to start working with it nonetheless and, you know, familiarize myself with it, so that I can make stuff slightly more accessible for people who may not ever want to read tarot themselves, but who want to remember what the cards are a little better during readings. And then the next one, I'm just checking how much time I've got left. 3 minutes. Oh no. The next one is the Hermetic Tarot. And this one is by US Games. This one got a little beat up in the package. It was with Lightseers in the package. And it has a little bit of damage to it on a couple cards here, sadly. So I don't know what happened, whether that's a little bit of water damage, but this one is an esoteric tarot deck by Godfrey Dowson. And the little info card says this is considered to be one of the most important esoteric tarot decks created in the 20th century. The Hermetic Tarot is now back in print in response to considerable demand. Godfrey Dowson's subtle designs emphasize the Golden Dawn's astrological attributes, attributes while also integrating angelic, numerical, and Kabbalistic elements. The black and white artwork features intricate detailing that highlights the powerful symbolism in both the minor and major arcana. So this is based upon the esoteric workings of the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn. And I'm looking for a copyright, but maybe that's in the book. So it says copyright 2006, but it must have been printed before that if this is like, you know, a new run for them. I was really drawn to this just because of all the correspondences. I'm starting to learn more about these things and diving into Thoth and the Golden Dawn kind of correspondences for tarot. I'm a big Fortune's Wheelhouse fan, and Emmeline, her decks are amazing, and they follow a lot of Golden Dawn traditions. And I'm also wanting to get more into astrology, and all the different layers of things there. So this just seemed like, you know, something I needed, that would help me sort of put more pieces together. But it's gorgeous. I don't have that many other black and white decks. I've got Terror of the Abyss, but I don't use that much. And I'm not super drawn to black and white decks, but this one is beautiful. And yeah, I was just waiting to find it secondhand, and I finally managed to nab it with the Lightseers Tarot. So very excited about both of those. Now, there is one more deck that is still in a package here from Australia. So I will quickly cut open the package and have a look at that, if I can get it open. I'm not going to cut anything. That is how how new all these decks are to me. I literally got, I think, the Hermetic Tarot Lightseers arrived a couple days ago in the mail, and my package from my friend, I think, arrived in the last week, and I've just had such a busy week I haven't gotten to really look at anything. So it is rare for me to have like a buildup of new decks to get to play with. I have not, I put a big stop on my spending last year, and I got laid off from a job I'd had for many years. So my finances have been a little different than they used to be. Oh yes, this is the Posis Oracle. She's a little beat up on the edges, but that is okay. Have a look at that. I probably said that wrong, but this is the Posis Oracle by Andrea Wan, which is super cool. I've watched a few flip-throughs of this and decided that, yep, this looked like something I would be interested in. I think this one might also pair well with the Supra Oracle if I wanted to mix two Oracle decks. And I guess this is my signal, since I now have the Supra Oracle as well as the Hermetic Tarot, that I am getting into some black and white things, because this is also a black and white deck. Yeah, so it's got a wee fold out here poster. I might move this now. It's got a wee poster, art poster, and some info. I do think there is a collection of poems that go with each of these cards that you can look at online, which is really cool. I can't wait to dive into that. I love to read poetry. I used to write poetry when I was young. It was very bad. TM. Very bad. But, you know, it was still fun though. And it's a great way to, you know, kind of go through and process and learn about your emotions, I think. But it says Posis is a collection of 77 oracle cards that is designed to call us within when we have questions, trusting that we already have all the answers in the center of our being. The cards combine art and poetry to help cultivate one's own intuitive abilities when it comes to decision making, knowing that our intuition can be a dependable source of guidance. As an attempt to break preconceived notions about divination tools belonging to only esoteric or supernatural spheres, we wanted to create a tool that is accessible to people in all age groups and from all belief systems and walks of lives. This is visually stimulating, and with self-empowerment as the focus, POSIS can be used for intuition, inspiration, divination, self-reflection, or even a way to connect with others and share our stories. The cards are versatile and can be used in any free-form intuitive readings or spreads. So there's a little bit of information on how to use things. A little bit of information on the poetry. These were all written by poet and musician Megan King, and they are available on the website. I think that you can also grab a book, so I will be trying to get that in printed format. And the deck was designed by Erin Dawkins, so created by Andrea Wan, poetry by Megan King, and designed by Erin Dawkins. The website is posis-oracle.com if you want to check it out. So I love that they give you 2 little spreads to use, and the inside of the box is purple. We like purple, don't we? I close my eyes and feel the ancient feeling, the truth of connection, all the invisible cords between us, and all the ways we belong to each other. Love that, because we are all connected. It's got a really nice, it's almost like a rose petal finish, but it's not the stickiest rose petal finish I've ever felt. There's still a good amount of slip to the cards, which I appreciate, but it's not like, say, my Neopets deck, which has very much a thicker, more velvety rose petal finish. Very, very subtle golden matte edging, which I appreciate because I don't like a sharp gilding. So this is beautiful. It really reminds me of the 60s and sort of, late 50s, early 60s designs. Kind of like Mad Men-esque, if you will, that sort of era. I don't know my art history, so I know there's probably a correct term for this style of artwork that I don't know what it is, but this is the vibe that I get from it. Yeah, I look forward to reading all of the poetry. I'm so chuffed that I got this. I wasn't sure about it, but the more I look at it, the more I think it's going to be cool. So yeah, very cool deck haul that will probably never happen like this again in a very long time. I think this is the biggest number of tarot decks I've amassed in a short period of time since I started collecting tarot years ago. But look at all of these decks. This is wild, y'all. This is not my usual way of obtaining tarot decks. So I feel very lucky and very spoiled, and very privileged. I know that I am. But that's a lot of decks. I think this is probably going to keep me busy all year, I would say. I do have one more special deck on the way that I have been looking to get for a very long time. For a couple years now. I just managed to find a copy of it today, and I will let you know when that one comes in. And there's one other deck I'm looking forward to getting that a lovely person who I've followed for a while has made. So I'll be pre-ordering that one. That one's available in May. Oh no, and I lied. And I bought myself an indie oracle deck coming from Australia. So I'll be doing a video on that when it finally arrives. It probably only got shipped a couple days ago because it was released during the eclipse. So that's going to be super exciting. But anywho, if you stayed this long, thanks so much for watching, and hooray, new deck day. Super exciting. Let me know in the comments if you've got any new decks lately or what you are currently loving to work with. I would love to hear. I always love to hear about new decks. And yeah, I hope to see you around here soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.